Hi everybody, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Thank you so much for being here. And please like, share, subscribe to this channel if you enjoy it and you resonate with the readings that I've done so far. Really appreciate that. And it helps to the channel to grow, and I'm pretty excited so far by the feedback that I've been given. So thank you so much if you have reached out to me. I really appreciate that. Please remember that I will never reach out to you to solicit for personal readings. Please keep yourself safe. There are a lot of scammers out there, and hopefully they'll never touch this community, but it kind of takes a village for these things. So look out for one another and for, you know, your bank account, and don't give your information or your money away to anyone that you don't trust. So with that, I'm going to be using the Tarot of Mystical Moments for your reading. It's going to be a 5-card reading, and the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck for your Oracle card at the end. The deck has been pre-shuffled, so I'm just going to shuffle now for the cards to flip out. I hope everybody is doing well. Okay. This is for Capricorn. Okay, so that's awesome. Okay. 5 cards for the main spread, and then 5 cards to clarify. A whole bunch came out all at the same time. Okay. For the past position, Capricorn, you got the 4 of Wands. It's a beautiful card. I love this deck. It's very surreal. And the 7 of Wands in reverse. So for an earth sign, we're already starting off with a lot of fire energy, and this was in the past. Already I'm seeing that, you know, you worked really diligently on securing something for yourself, whether that was a new home or a business venture, a collaboration of some kind, but you worked really diligently. I see you kind of burning the midnight oil, which is paying off for you, because this is a card of stable foundations. They do call this the 1111 card, but I pulled this card a couple of times when I do readings, but what I'm really drawn to today for you is all of this activity here, this kind of sparkle and light and yellow flowery energy. It's like twinkling. So it's almost like like your name in bright lights, like trying to make a name for yourself. Not that you don't already have a name for yourself, but it's kind of like you're trying to establish yourself in something that is perhaps new to you, and trying to break out of a certain way that you used to do things before, is what I wanted to say. The 7 of Wands is usually, it can be a card of blocking energy or kind of a defensive posture. This is something that you are, it's almost like Spirit is saying that you're finally letting your guard down with them, if that makes sense. As if you were not in a true belief that you were capable of something, which I know several Capricorns, and they're very capable people, very entrepreneurial people. But there's something here that you were hesitating about. And now that you're, because this is the past position, now that you're kind of steeped into it, you're finding your stride, you're seeing that all that work paid off, and you're letting your guard down and saying, okay, well, if I brought this in already, how much more can I bring in, right? And then here we have some of your energy, King of Pentacles in the reverse, in the present moment, and this is clarified by the Strength card. So let's talk about the King of Pentacles. In the upright, usually the King of Pentacles, who in this deck, kings and queens, and some of the major arcana are represented by divine feminine and divine masculine energies, and this happens to represent divine feminine energy. So it's kind of like this fan type thing that also doubles as a flower. Perhaps it looks kind of like half of a sunflower energy. It's almost like bashfulness. And I think of, you know, when we see certain women of a certain time, when they would have the fans in front of their face and they would kind of cover their face and kind of bashfulness. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's almost like you're embarrassed. Maybe not embarrassed. Maybe embarrassed is too strong a term. Okay, Spirit, maybe you want to say embarrassed. Maybe you're feeling a little shy or self-conscious about your success, which normally you might not feel that way. You might not broadcast it to the world, but you might not normally feel that way of like, hey, look at me, look at what I'm doing. And right now you're not feeling, it's almost like, it's not to say that you don't have the energy of the King of Pentacles. It's almost like you want to keep it under wraps. Like you don't want to let everybody know. And maybe that's difficult for you, the Strength card here, to, and please take this with a grain of salt, but just to keep that ego in check, if that makes sense. Like the healthiest form of the ego, where we can feel confident about ourselves. There's a lot of solar plexus chakra energy going on here with the yellows. Very, very strong in your present energy. So you're riding the wave of your successes, whether they're big or they're small. But perhaps it's taking a lot of energy for you to keep it to yourself. Maybe it hasn't, whatever endeavor this is, like it hasn't quite reached the stage where you want to share it with a larger group of people, and that's totally fine. But this is kind of what I'm seeing here. It's this idea of a little bit of bashfulness, I want to say. But in the future energy, coming in strong with the King of Wands, which is Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. For me, sometimes the King of Wands represents Leo. For me, I always saw it as Aries. Marching to the beat of his own drum, which is kind of an obvious thing to say with this image, but at the same time, he's got his drum, and his vibration has this trail of light and fire with it, and he's engulfed in it in a way. So it's kind of like saying you're on fire. In the future energy, you're going to be tremendously excited. It's almost like now I see Batman and the thrust of his Batmobile, like the fire that comes out of the back, or the fire of a jet engine. Now I'm seeing the fighter jets kind of taking off on the aircraft carriers. I see that kind of momentum. It's so funny. I'm looking at this stance. You know, usually when you're in a drum line, you kind of, you're marching with other people, obviously, but you're marching in formation, right? They're kind of, I don't know if you fall down these Instagram rabbit holes like I do, and you kind of watch these videos. I don't know how this entered my algorithm, but I started getting a lot of videos of college marching bands because they're just so impressive. I don't know, but they're in a very strict formation. It's all about timing, okay? It's all about timing. It's all about timing. But you have here in the future energy, it's almost like that stance is like, I'm just going to stop for a moment and march and beat my drum. I'm just going to stop for a moment. It's almost like his foot is on a rock and he's just, let's just enjoy the fruits of our labor and see how much further we can go. This is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So now we have a divine partnership here, the King and Queen of Pentacles, although this can describe the divine feminine and masculine within you. But both energies are in reverse. So now in the future energy, what this feels like is a case of perfectionism. It's like you're inhabiting this very powerful energy, but it's not enough. You want more. There's always this yearning for more, right? So you could perhaps be feeling, I don't want to even say frustrated, because I feel like you got it going on. I do want to say not frustrated with yourself in any case, but a little impatient. Because maybe you have to wait on somebody else for something. So if you're looking for a license or a permit or somebody to edit something or create something on your behalf, if it's a logo or it feels very entrepreneurial energy here, but take it as it resonates. Maybe it's something having to do with your family, that you're trying to build something, but you're having to interact with the rest of the world and rely on outside forces, which is hard for Capricorn, right? Because you're really, really self-sufficient sign. Very self-sufficient sign. So I see this as you're not really standing in your own power at the moment, not because you're lacking in the skill, ability, or fortitude, but simply because you are just waiting on somebody else. It's almost like the drum is going and saying, hurry it up already. Hurry it up already, right? So in the advice from Spirit, this is a beautiful energy with a tinge of, I don't know, sadness maybe. Advice from Spirit is the 10 of Cups. So Cups energy is water energy. Water energy has to do with the emotions, the psyche, the unconscious, the empathy center of who we are. This is a very unique 10 of Cups. I'm very drawn to this kind of faded rainbow. I recently saw a rainbow the other day that was one of the most vibrant rainbows I've ever seen in my life. I actually posted a picture of it on my Instagram page, my personal one. But it, you know, even as great as they make cameras now, it just did not capture the vibrancy of this, of the feeling I had when I looked at it. This seems relevant somehow. One, because, you know, we see this unlikely couple, half man and woman, half amphibian. I'm not really sure what's going on here, right? Things lying beneath the surface. They're not looking at us, though. I think that's relevant. Well, in any case, this is kind of like, I'm not looking back anymore. I'm not looking back for my happiness. I'm not looking to the past for my happiness. But it's almost like that rainbow is kind of faded. It's not as vibrant as it used to be. And I'm harping on that because of the star in reverse. So this is your first major arcana of your reading. Star energies represents Aquarius and can talk about, I was gonna say healing, but the word that's coming out is therapy. Not therapy in perhaps a Western traditional sense, kind of a therapy of the heart space, that you've spent all this time building something, but it's not, yes, it's about firm foundations, but it's not about money anymore. It's not about, you know, I did say making a name for yourself, but it's not necessarily about fame and fortune. It's just about establishing some kind of autonomy, a selfhood with you, and realizing that all the things that you used to value when you were younger, perhaps, are no longer the things that fuel whatever it is that motivates you, right? Like, maybe it used to be the flashy car, or the penthouse apartment, or the trophy boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. And it's just like not that anymore. And I'm not saying that to suggest that you are superficial. It's just an example of the things that you used to value are no longer what you see as your 10 of Cups. It's a different thing now. It's altogether different. It's almost like looking at that rainbow and knowing that it's fleeting, but stopping to smell the roses, stopping to see it, enjoying it in its fleetedness. You're just savoring the moment and allowing it to pass and accepting that it will, right? Because this star energy in reverse, let's look at it in the upright. Very kind of Taj Mahal, majestic, magical, mystic. This fairy here, right? She's so beautifully situated in the doorway, the portal of this magical place, right? So with this card in reverse, it's kind of like saying to me that there's still healing that needs to happen. And part of that healing is a surrender and an acceptance of what is, whatever that means for you. And how you see yourself. I mean, I love this. This is how you see yourself right now, just rocking and rolling with the Empress. It's like my favorite. Empress energy is Major Arcana number 3, divine feminine energy, who is absolutely inhabiting the 4 queens of the tarot. All of the creative, abundant, stable, loving energy is where you are right now, because quite frankly, you just got through building yourself up to something, and it's okay for you to enjoy it, right? With the 2 of Wands in reverse, that's clarifying this. It's kind of like you're having to make some decisions about your next moves. Because of course it's going to be like you to search for the next great adventure. But remember, this is Spirit's advice. Spirit's advice is it's okay to stop every once in a while to appreciate what you've built. You know, it's almost like Why am I working so hard if I can't enjoy it? So that's your tarot reading. I'm going to pull a archetype card. This one wanted to come out. The box. What's amazing is, like, I want to turn it like this and allow it to extend into a pyramid. Right? So it seems like it's a box in one sense, but if we just, even now, the way that it's kind of reflecting in the camera, doesn't it start to look, I don't know about you, but it starts to look three-dimensional, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It just like jumps off of the page, and it just wants to be, I don't have any pyramids near me right now. I have some towers, but I don't have any pyramids, but it just wants to jump off the page. So let me read the definition for the box. Sorry, let me just find it. XL. Okay. So I'm going to read from the book. This is The Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing deck. The cage, the rules, the norm. We all live to some degree within the confines of the box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well-paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small. There is a box around you now made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going, break through. An exquisite life requires it. So, essentially, you know, stepping outside your comfort zones. You know, but I see Capricorns especially, it's like, okay, you say it's a box, I'm gonna twist it, I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna make it work for me. That's Capricorn energy. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you soon. Stay safe. Bye, Capricorn.